Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is a shortcut to some serious financial literacy.
Hmm.
We're taking the time-tested principles from the Millionaire Next Door, that classic guide, really, and we're translating them for you, specifically in a Malaysian context.
Right.
This isn't about get-rich-quick schemes. It's a deep dive into the behaviors, the mindset that really separates the high spender from someone with a high net worth.
And it all comes down to stripping away the social image and just looking at the math. The core idea, and it's so simple, but people miss it, is that wealth is what you accumulate.
Not what you spend.
Exactly. It's not what you spend. We see high-income professionals in, say, KL who look incredibly successful but are financially fragile.
All debt and consumption.
Yes. And then you have that quiet, frugal person in the suburbs who has just mastered living below their means and has built this incredible portfolio without anyone even noticing.
And that's what makes this so practical, right? Our sources really ground this in Malaysian realities. We're talking ASNB, the choice between a Mevi and a prestige sedan.
And even that cafe hopping culture.
Yes, exactly. This is the playbook for building real long-term wealth.
It is.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We need a baseline because you can't improve what you don't measure. The original research gives us this fantastic, unbiased metric.
The expected net worth formula. It's like a financial mirror.
Right.
It's designed to be a benchmark. It's just your age multiplied by your annual income multiplied by 0.1.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. That number tells you where you should be financially based on your earnings and how long you've had to save.
Okay, so let's make that real for a second. Say you're 35 years old, earning RM 550,000 a year.
Okay, so 35 times 150,000 times 0.1, that gives you an expected net worth of RM 525,000. That's your target.
And the book uses that number to sort people into two groups,
It does, the two famous acronyms.
PAW and UAW.
Exactly. You're a PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth, if your actual net worth is double that number or more. So for our 35-year-old, that's over RM 1.05 million. And you're a UAW, an underaccumulator of wealth, if you're at half or less. So below about RM 262,500.
Now, here's what's so interesting. The assumption is always that the PAW must have a huge salary or maybe a big inheritance.
And it's almost never that. The biggest takeaway is that the difference isn't luck or income.
It's discipline.
It's all discipline. It's behavioral finance. A PAW and a UAW can have the exact same salary. But the PAW consistently uses the #1 wealth building tool, frugality.
They save and invest first.
They do. They spend what's left. The UAW spends first and then there's usually nothing left to save.
So if a UAW has the income but not the wealth, what's the very first thing they need to fix? Is it their investment strategy?
No, it's their mental approach to status, hands down. And that brings us to the two biggest wealth traps, especially here in Malaysia.
Living below your means, or LBYM.
Yes. And local lifestyle inflation it's a monster.
It is insidious, isn't it? It disguises spending as just, being part of society. The sources list these specific wealth-draining habits. The pressure to buy a new phone every single year, the expensive holidays to Singapore or Tokyo.
And that cafe culture you mentioned, RM25 on a coffee a few times a week, it just vanishes.
It really adds up. But the biggest one seems to be what Chapter 4 calls out. You aren't what you drive.
Oh, that's a massive one here. The car is so often a symbol of your social standing, but high spenders on cars are almost always UAWs.
Because cars are just huge liabilities.
They're money pits, they depreciate instantly, and then you've got maintenance, insurance, interest.
And the local guide has this incredibly powerful comparison. It lays out the real long-term cost. It compares, a RM 130,000 prestige car?
Yeah, versus a reliable RM 55,000 Perodo Myvi.
So that's a RM 75,000 difference right off the bat.
And that RM SNFFK is the capital you basically burn for image. The guide shows that if you just invested at a conservative 7% annual return for 10 years, it compounds to over RM 147,000.
Okay, let that sink in. You are literally driving around an RM 147,000 of lost future potential.
It's the opportunity cost of status. The advice is so clear. Buy a reliable Japanese car or a Perodua, pay it off as fast as you can, and drive it for 7, maybe 10 years.
Use that capital to build your net worth, not to impress someone at a traffic light.
Exactly.
So, okay, we've stopped the bleeding. We've mastered frugality. We're avoiding these big debt traps. What's the first proactive step to actually build wealth?
It starts with how you earn. Chapter 7 talks about career choices. So many people think millionaires are all tech founders or bankers.
Right, the glamorous jobs.
But the reality is that most come from what the book calls dull normal professions.
Dull normal. I like that.
Yeah.
So why do jobs like being an accountant or an engineer outperform?
Because of stability and high savings potential. Think about it. Engineers, auditors, pharmacists, IT developers, they have steady demand and good salaries.
And less pressure to dress the part.
Precisely. You can earn RM 15,000 a month but live on RM 8,000 and nobody bats an eye.
The same logic applies to the skilled SME owners the guide mentions, right?
Mhm.
Car workshop owners, construction subcontractors.
Yes. High margin, low glamour businesses. The focus is on utility, not being flashy. They reinvest their profits back into the business or their savings, not into a new luxury watch.
So once you have that ability to earn and save, the next pillar is investing intelligently. This is where so many UAWs get it wrong.
They do. They're chasing the quick win. They gamble on penny stocks. They get into high-risk crypto with money they can't afford to lose. They try to flip every IPO.
It's all driven by greed, this idea that you need massive risk to build wealth.
But the PAW approach is the total opposite. It's consistent, it's long-term, and honestly, it's boring.
Boring is good.
Boring is where the wealth is. It means regularly investing in things like AS&B funds or low-cost global ETFs through platforms like Stashaway or FSM. They avoid high sales charges,
And the source specifically mentions EPF top-ups.
which have one of the best risk-free returns in Malaysia. It's a huge advantage. But the core behavior, no matter the investment, is just patience. Hold long-term and let it compound.
Okay, let's shift to something I found really revealing, especially for our culture. Family dynamics. Chapters 5 and 6 talk about something called economic outpatient care.
EOC, yes. This is when parents give adult children money on a regular basis. And the research is so clear on this, even if it feels counterintuitive.
It does. I mean, isn't helping your kids with a car or a down payment the responsible thing to do? Doesn't it give them a head start?
It helps them consume faster, but it cripples their financial independence. The data shows that kids who get constant EOC save less and have more debt.
Because there's no pressure to learn.
There's no need to learn cash flow management. It just subsidizes a lifestyle, not wealth creation.
And the local guide lists these super common examples. Parents paying the car loan, funding the huge wedding, covering business losses.
It's a financial cushion that prevents them from learning from their own mistakes. The advice for parents is simple. Invest everything you can in your child's education.
That's human capital.
Exactly. But do not fund their luxury lifestyle. The goal is to build their independence early.
And that independence extends to partnerships too, right? Chapter 9 talks about the role of marriage.
Oh, it's a massive wealth accelerant. A supportive spouse with the same money values. The sources say it can speed up your journey to millionaire status by 10 to 20 years.
And the reverse must be true. If one's a PAW and the other is a UAW, that's just a recipe for financial disaster.
It creates so much tension and just destroys net worth. Which brings us back to that final mindset check. Are you building net worth or are you just building an image?
The social media flex.
The social media flex, the expensive wedding, the huge array of spending, it all screams, I'm successful, but often just hides a mountain of debt.
So the goal is to align your spending with your net worth goals, not with social trends. Let the wealth grow quietly.
Let it run in the background.
Let's wrap this up with the power of consistency, because that's really the theme here. The guide has this amazing practical example.
Yeah, let's look at the numbers. Take a 30-year-old earning a solid RM 7,000 a month. Not a CEO, just a good, stable income. If that person invests just RM 2,000 a month consistently into those low-cost funds we talked about, getting a modest 7% return.
After 5 years, they have around RM 144,000. It feels slow at first, doesn't it?
It does, because you're doing all the heavy lifting. After 10 years, they hit about RM 350,000. Good, but not life-changing yet. But then compounding really kicks in. After 15 years, it's RM 630,000. And after 20 years, they cross RM 1.05 million.
A millionaire. With no lottery ticket, no speculative bet. Just 2 decades of boring discipline.
And that's the whole point. The real Malaysian millionaires we study are the ones who keep the same house for decades, who avoid luxury brands, and who run stable businesses.
The wealth grows slowly at first.
And then all of a sudden it just explodes. But it was never sudden. It was consistency.
It's a behavioral commitment.
Yeah.
So if you want to move from being an under-accumulator of wealth to a prodigious accumulator, you have to measure it. You have to be honest about that gap.
Absolutely.
That's the first step.
So here's the provocative thought we want you to take away from this. right now. Take a moment and calculate your own expected net worth. Remember that formula. Age times your annual income times big point one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what stands out to you when you compare that number to your actual current net worth? That gap. That gap is precisely where your next deep dive into changing your behavior begins.